Hey everybody, I'm Miss Mary Lou, and tonight we are kicking off a special 12 Days of Christmas Graves Library style. Each night at 6:45, we are going to post a whole new story read by a whole new reader, some old friends, some new friends, some little friends. We are so delighted to bring this series to you, and each night a different reader will read one of their most favorite stories and share with you a couple of things that maybe as they were growing up, they'll tell you about that. And a few of our readings are not just for children, they are for the entire family to sit back and listen to. So we hope you enjoy this series. And we hope next time at this year, we'll all be back inside the library together reading stories. But we hope you'll enjoy these for now. So tonight, I am going to read one of my favorite books. It's called Mr. Willoughby's Christmas Tree. It is a story written by Robert Barry, who taught at the Rhode Island School of Design, and he lives in Newport, Rhode Island. But this is a story about sharing what you don't need. So hopefully you will enjoy this story as much as I do. So we would love to thank Doubleday Books for Young Readers for allowing us to read this story to you tonight. And we hope you enjoy all of the stories that we are going to be bringing to you. So let's get started with Mr. Willoughby. Mr. Willoughby's Christmas tree came by special delivery, full and fresh and glistening green, the biggest tree he'd ever seen. He dashed downstairs to open the door. This was the moment he'd waited for. A magnificent tree! Splendid, he cried. Please, sir, won't you carry it inside? I think it might look best this year, right in the parlor corner here. But once the tree stood in its place, Mr. Willoughby made a terrible face. The tree touched the ceiling, then bent like a bow. Oh, good heavens, he gasped. Something must go. Baxter, the butler, was called on in haste to chop off the top, though it seemed quite a waste. That's great, Mr. Willoughby cried with glee. Now we can start to trim my tree. When the trimming was well underway, the top was placed on a silver tray. Baxter said, I know who'd be delighted with this Christmas tree. So it was presented to Miss Adelaide, Mr. Willoughby's upstairs maid. Very fancy on a tray. Won't this tree be a pretty sight when I have trimmed it later tonight? But the top, oh dear, I'm so afraid, will have to be cut, sighed Miss Adelaide. And so with scissors, sharp and long, she snipped off the top while she hummed a song. The top was set out the very next day in the back of the house to be thrown away. That little treetop caught the eye of Tim the gardener passing by. He certainly was not about to see that little tree thrown out. He hurried home straight away to see what Mrs. Tim would say. Fa la la, surprise, surprise! His wife could not believe her eyes. But our house, she said, is so snug and small. I don't believe we need it all. And before Tim had a chance to shout, she cut off the top and threw it out. Barnaby Bear was padding by. It almost hit him in the eye. Now, who would throw a tree away so very close to Christmas Day? I'll take it home. That's what I'll do. Look, Mama Bear, I've a present for you. Isn't it a pretty tree? Yawned Barnaby, quite drowsily. But Little Bear, standing off far, cried out, That tree won't hold a star. Barnaby said, Let's cut a hunk off of the bottom, here at the trunk. But Mama Bear just shook her head and sliced the treetop off instead. Jolly by golly, Barnaby said with a kick. Mama, that surely is just the right trick. Let's trim it with bells and honey rings, some berries and tinsel, and popcorn on strings. Mama said, Trim it just as you like. I've got to tidy up for the night. This top we won't need any more, so I'll just put it outside the door. There she is. It's getting smaller and smaller. Later on that frosty night, Frisky Fox came into sight. He spied the treetop and he rubbed his chin, opened his sack, and stuffed the top in. And there he is. He scampered home and jumped his gate. This Christmas present couldn't wait. It's even better than mincemeat pie, said Mrs. Fox with a happy sigh. Then the foxes saw that their Christmas tree was just a wee bit oversized. Oh, my dears, don't you worry. I'll fix this top now in a hurry. So another cut. Benjamin Rabbit found it then, just outside the fox's den. It seems, he thought, most certainly, that Santa left it for my family. Look, he cried, see the tree I found? With that he called his family round. Then there was merrymaking, rollicking, frolicking, carrot shaking, celebration around the tree. All were as happy as rabbits can be. Benjamin Rabbit, with his own hand, sliced a carrot to make a stand. Now, let's see how this will look in our little chimney nook. But right away the children cried, Look, it's leaning off to one side. It's too tall, that's all, said Mrs. Rabbit. And as though it were a summer carrot, She gave it a chop and threw it away, and threw away the top. There goes the top. Then Mistletoe Mouse had happened to see that tiny tip of the Christmas tree. Remember, it was like really, really tall when Mr. Willoughby started with it, and now it's down to this big. Let's see what's gonna happen. So, Mistletoe Mouse, he pulled it through the snow and ice, up some stairs. He fell down twice. At last he reached his cozy house. It's just the right size, said Mrs. Mouse. Then at the top, if you please, they put a star made out of cheese. Oh, wasn't it grand to have a tree exactly like Mr. Willoughby? So there's Mr. Willoughby, and if you can see in the little mouse's hole, they have a tree that looks just like his. What a great way to share your tree with everybody. Everybody in your family and outside. What a wonderful thing to do. Mr. Willoughby's Christmas tree. We hope you all have a wonderful holiday season. Give us a call if you want any books put out on the porch. We are filling orders, and we put them out on the porch for you. So in case you're around in the port this holiday season and you want some books to read or some movies to watch, please give us a call and we will help you in any way that we can. Take care, everyone, and enjoy the next 12 days of Christmas, Graves Library style. Thank you.